Yep, that's right. Today's recipe is Welsh cakes as requested by Beth and Jane 22. If you want to have a go at making this recipe, hit pause on the video now. Just like all my recipes, it's the first time you're making it, so you can have a go too. You want to grab yourself a bowl, first of all. Let's do it. Yeah, so we'll whack our bowl down, and what we're going to do is put all our dry ingredients into here. So let's start off with our big old plain flour, the butchness of this recipe, in that goes. Wow. Now we're going to follow up with our sugar, so don't worry about sieving any of this, because in a minute we're going to get our hands in there. It's going to be like, oh yeah baby, right in there. Little sprinkling of mixed spice, oh yeah, about a teaspoon of that on there. Ooh, lovely. Baking powder as well. You could like move this out of the way of the recipe. Move that out of the way doesn't make sense. You could just omit that and use self-raising flour instead. Right, so I'm just mixing that together with a spatula. It's completely optional. In fact, you don't really need to do that, and I don't know why I did, but we'll just go over that. Don't worry about it. Right, so now comes the messy bit. Grab yourself a princess plate if you can, because these are the best plates in the world. Phoebe says that anyway. I mean, obviously, if you've got a normal plate, that's fine. And what we want to do is use our fingers and thumbs and just work those dry ingredients into that butter. So really get it in there. It's going to be a little minging at first, as I say, but just get it all through, and we'll see you in a minute. I just moved my camera to show you this at another angle, and I now have flour all over my lens. How cool is that? But anyhow, as you can see, it's slightly going a lightly golden colour. Just keep working it through until it's nice and fine. Oh, there you are. Anyhow, with it nice and light and golden and slightly breadcrumby, I've started to add my currants in. So, it's in a mug, not a mug of coffee, but you could use sultanas if you prefer, something like that, or if you want to ramp it up and be a little bit untraditional, maybe some orange peely zesty stuff. But anyhow, we can get our hands in this again, sort of mix it together. Can you see that? Can you see that right there? Yeah, I can see it. Get it all through there, and then we're going to wet it up with an egg. So this, in this glass here, is one egg. It's not been beaten. You need to beat it, like Michael Jackson style, and it's going to go in there and moisten it up. So I'm just going to beat this egg up very briefly with a fork in there and just tip it straight in there. So we're going to mix it through. Might as well use that same fork. You can see the currants have really worked their way through there. What we want to do is form a sort of dough here, and if it's still a little dry, luckily having so many kids in the house, especially Chloe drinking all the milk, we have got loads of milk, and so we're going to just pour that in if needs be to get a nice sort of clumpy doughy texture. Right folks, so I've been mixing it together with my fork, and as you can see, it's coming together kind of like a cookie dough texture, and that is exactly what we're after. So if yours is drier than this, add some milk, as I say, but for me, we're gonna get our cookie cutters on it. This is perfect. So I've moved the bowl to one side and I've got my plain flour tub here, and what I've been doing is just sprinkling down my board there, because we do not want it to get stuck there. We want it to have a little bit of... So let's get the dough down. Oh yeah. Right, so I'm just plonking my dough down. What I'll do actually is just get it nice and coated in flour, just to dry it out a little bit more, because believe it or not, this is still a little wet. So what you can do, you can either do this with a rolling pin or press it out with your hands as you go and gradually work it. But you want it around about the thickness of your little pinky, okay? So right there, maybe a little thinner than that, just so it cooks properly. Okay, so it's nice and flat now. I used my rolling pin and got it nice and smooth. I would recommend you do that. I mean, rough is kind of cool and rustic, but let's just go with keeping it nice and smooth, baby. So we want to get ourselves a cookie cutter like this and just make some little shapes, and we can keep remolding it and rolling it again. But there's nothing stopping you like using like a funky heart shape for Valentine's Day, something like that. So just make little rounds like this. We'll make as many as we can, and it's time to cook them up. Okie doke then guys, so I finished cutting them out, and I managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I've got a little bit left over so I can make a mini one. Dusted them with a little flour to stop them drying out. Let's get cooking them. Just to say, don't worry if you make a little bit of a mess in your kitchen like I have. You know, it's a bit of a flour protest. It's part of the fun. Whoa! Okay folks, I've just lit my hob. You might have just caught that and me go, ah! So we've got a pan here with a knob of butter. So I'm going to whack that down. We're going to melt it up. I'm just going to cook one to show you, but then we just repeat those steps with all of them. Yeah. Right, so our butter is nice and warmed up now. It's just starting to bubble, so we're going to place one in there. It's going to take about 3 minutes, get it nice and golden brown, flip it over, cook it around about probably 2 minutes that side, then we'll rest it on some kitchen towel. And just to say, you could use a griddle pan for this step if you want, get some nice lines on it. Right, so I'm just turning it over. Oh yes, you can see that nice light golden colour on there. That did take exactly 3 minutes, so as you can see, the butter's gone a little bit. I'm going to keep topping it up, so I'll repeat that steps and then drain it. Now the cool thing about these is they're still warm, so giving them a nice little dusting of sugar all along there, but you could like put butter on there, you could have jam, even some cheeky Nutella. That is them all done. Oh my goodness, these are delicious. I must put them down. And how easy was that? So I really hope you give it a go. If you do, let me know how you get on at My Virgin Kitchen. Send me a picture and all that stuff. And if you want to vote for my next recipe, get involved, myvirginkitchen.com, or simply let me know down below what you want to see next.